As Nigeria celebrates 18 years of interrupted democracy, many Nigerians have been bearing out their mind on the beauty of civil rule, which also coincided with 2 years of All Progressive Congress-led federal government. Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari said that democracy remains the best form of government anywhere in the world because it allows people to choose who will govern them through the ballot.
Well, I'm happy that at least most people believe we can do it and we'll be able to do it. And I give kudos to what is happening all over the world, that the military situation is no longer in vogue. No matter what happens, democracy is the in thing all over the world. And that is to the grassroots. Let them decide the way we want to be ruled. Even if a particular party or a particular person is not doing well, the easiest way is that you wait again. After his tenure, when he comes back, you assess him, he takes stock. If you are not satisfied, you kick him out, you bring in another person. It's one of the reasons why I appreciate democracy, particularly in an advanced country. Say, for example, United Kingdom or United States of America. You will never see anybody thinking of another thing. All what they do is that they wait for you and assess you or assess that government based on what you promise or based on the satisfaction, how you have been able to turn the economy.
Scoring the administration of President Buhari in the last 2 years, Senator Abdul Fattah said, given the scenario of Nigerian economy when APC-led government took over the realm of affairs, the government of the day has put in their best.
Perception or the angle anybody is looking at it is like a crystal. What you are seeing is different from what I'm seeing. And then when you are doing an honest assessment, you have to take a lot of things into consideration to be able to assess very well. I was arguing with one of my colleagues who happened to be from PDP one day, and we're gisting. And I said, see, you people can't even do it. You can't even repair it. I said, I appreciate that statement. I'm happy you are telling me that we can't repair it, because which means you know you have spoiled it. But don't forget, you spoiled it for 16 years. He laughed, he hit me inside the chamber. I said, I'm happy because I'm impressed with your diction that you can see you people can't even repair it, you can't do it, and you probably. I said, I'm happy with your statement, but don't forget, you spoiled it for 16 years. We do, in as much as we were joking about it, but the reality is that, look at this viral. If I break it now, it won't take me a second. Or if you want me to destroy this house, it may not take me more than 2 days. By the same viral, if you give me 15 years, I may not be able to know even to repair only the top like this. That is the way our economy is today.
Meanwhile, a former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Duro Meseko, stated that democracy has been a blessing to the country.
18 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria has been more of great blessings to us as a people than anything else. Talk of, the triumph of rule of law, talk of freedom of speech, talk of inclusive governance, talk of democracy in action, government of the people, for the people, and by the people, talk of development. Lot of, blessings, that we got from that. So for us as a people, it is worth celebrating. It is far, more productive for us as a country than military administration, because military administration is dictatorship, and of course you know what happened under a dictatorship. Is another way of saying one man affair. But in democracy, hundreds and thousands of people put heads together to resolve an issue before you take a decision.
Also bearing his opinion on the Democracy Day, Senator Dino Melai, representing Kogi West in the Senate, called on Nigerians to build democracy institutions rather than building character in order to entrench democracy value.
Celebrate that 18 years of interrupted democracy in this country, and we pray that there will be more of it. But despite the fact that we are growing in terms of chronology democratically, but we are not growing in terms of institutionalizing or building our institutions In 18 years, we have built strong characters, strong individuals, but we are yet to build strong institutions. And democracy can only strive when you have strong institutions. I want to hope that subsequent years will be channeled towards the development of our institutions, the entrenchment of proper tenets of democracy, and a true fight against corruption that has been the bane of our development.
Nigeria marked May 29 of every year as Democracy Day since the country returned to civil rule 18 years ago. From Abuja, Nigeria, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
May 29th will officially mark 2 years since President Muhammad Buhari's government came into office. Ban Television sampled the opinion of some Nigerians on the achievements of the administration, and this is what they say.
There is a suffering in the country. Like the young people, the old people in the village, most of them now can never feed. We are really losing. We are not enjoying.
I still expected a change. They say they want to give us change. All Nigerians are showing.
Again, as it used to be because of the
not really seeing anything.
So what do you think is
For me, anything very tangible is that aspect of change. And Nigerians will not be crying. I advise strongly that they should look into the 2014 National Conference resolution. Most of the answers they are struggling. They have like their spirit is willing for a change, but they are weak. They don't know how to go about it. They should go to that national conference of 2014. They will find the answers to make the change that they are promising to do.
like the question you ask as to APC promise or not. If you like promise heaven, if you do not have good structure, bring billions of naira into the system, it will collapse. So Nigeria needs to restructure. We need true federalism. We need federative unit. How can the federal government be handling everything in Nigeria? It is unfair. The center should be concerned with diplomacy, international relations, security, and defense.
With 2 more years to go, Nigerians are keeping their fingers crossed as they wait to see what the APC-led federal government will do. In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanet.
Nanet?
Nanet offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanet, service with a smile.
Elder statesman and one-time Minister of Information, Edwin Clark, has identified restructuring of the country as one of the feasible means to solve the nation's numerous challenges. He stated this at a Thanksgiving service to mark his 90th birthday celebration in Abuja. Clark, while urging Nigerians to play politics of no bitterness, said there is need to have a true federal structure in the country. Some of his friends describe him as a man worthy of emulation and someone who has played his part in the development of Nigeria.
What is done for his people and for Nigeria, one can only wish him better health, longer life, and all his wishes for his family, for his community, and for Nigeria may come true.
We pray for him that he will continue to work strong and be healthy and do what God has asked him to do for his generation, especially for us in the Niger Delta. We see him as a rallying point, as a father that has a lot. The doggedness, the fearlessness, and the forthrightness. So we just thank God for his life.
At a national discourse organized in his honor, some participants at the occasion said true federalism is the only way out of the present situation the country finds itself.
Nigeria should therefore practice, it says, federalism, a political arrangement in which political power is shared between the center and the federating units, which in this case would be the states, but thus ensuring the sustenance of unity in diversity, expansion of opportunities and people of various tribes and cultures to participate in governance of a country, thereby removing the fear of domination of one by the other.
The problem that we face in Nigeria today is an attempt to make everything uniform. If we go to the east, the United Arab Emirates, you see Abu Dhabi with its oil, Dubai with its commerce and real estate. Their means are way beyond the other 5 Emirates. And yet, nobody takes issues with it, because in a federation, there is never equality of means, only equality of opportunities.
My definition is that allow me to control my resources and let me pay tax to the center. I think that is the resource control, that is true federalism.
If we really want a truly united Nigeria, we must be honest and truthful about facts. And that is where we'll go. But a lot of the things that I've said, these are issues that for Nigeria to progress, federalism that we are talking about must be federalism, true federalism. That means what we are doing is fake. So we must know that the foundation is not right. Restructuring, it makes sense. And the resource control, if you practice federalism, then resource control is already there.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
May 25 is a day which many across Africa will never forget, as civil society organizations, activists, friends and colleagues gathered for the 8th memorial of one of their own, Tajuddin Abdul Rahim, a man who was at the forefront of Pan-Africanism. To commemorate the 8th year of his death, a memorial lecture was organized with the theme Democracy in Africa, Trends and Challenges by the Center for Democracy and Development. Speaking on the sideline, former chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, Chidi Odinkalu, described the late Pan-Africanist as a man who inspired others and contributed to democratization across Africa. While the executive director of African Vision 525, Professor Okello Okuli, a Ugandan novelist currently living in Nigeria, described Tajuddin in using information available to him to promote Africa's interest.
He set standards in excellence that lots of younger people, that should inspire lots of younger people. He was the Secretary General of the Global Pan-African Movement, and so mobilized the whole of the African continent and contributed in that capacity to democratization across the African continent.
You should take knowledge very seriously. Tajuddin was a passionate reader of books, passionate searcher for information and data before uttering an opinion. And he was very sharp with his tongue. After he has gathered his information, he used it very bitingly, especially if it is to promote Africa's interests.
They, however, encourage youths to reinvent themselves to be able to compete with the rest of the world, as they are the answers to the yearning questions we're being asked.
I think what ought to be done right now in Nigeria is to listen to the Emir of Kano, Emir Sanusi, what he's doing, which is to say, is another phase of President Buhari's anti-corruption policy. That there's certain leadership in Nigeria which have to be pushed away from the kinds of anti-progress, anti-good governance that they're promoting.
The kinds of opportunities that Taju's generation had, or my generation had, are no longer available to the younger people. And because of that, the younger people cannot do what? Aspire, reimagine themselves, grow, and compete with the rest of the world. I've just told you all of the fields that Taju traversed. How many young Nigerians can see themselves now traversing all of those fields, becoming a Rhodes Scholar, having a PhD from Oxford University, from parents who were poor? I still think, when you ask me what gives you hope about this country today, I'll tell you Nigeria's young people. You know why? Because this country does not have answers for the questions our young people are asking.
Students of the Anglican Girls Grammar School, Abuja, held a mock summit of the African Union, taking roles as the continent's heads of states. Tajuddin Abdul Rahim, who died in a car crash in Nairobi, Kenya in 2009, was the former chair of CDD International Government Council. CDD over the last 7 years organizes annual memorial events in his memory, which brings together a cross-section of stakeholders and experts drawn from academia, business communities, the press, and civil societies. Awesome Raffle, Ben Television.